Friends, join us! We have a spectacle!
Thank you for your love and support.
I give you the War Wolf!
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Now that Trump is back in the White House, corporate media machines are hiring some of the most rabid, vicious, frothing at the mouth animal reporters that you could possibly imagine to scream questions at Trump every time he walks by. Why are you a racist? Why do you beat your wife? It's like, where'd that go in the last 4 years? Nowhere? Where was that? I never saw Joe Biden get screamed at once. I never saw a single tough question. With the very, very rare exception of Peter Doocy, who, by the way, if there's somebody who probably deserves to say that this is an attack on the free press, it's the guy who is called a dumb son of a bitch by the president live on camera.
Will you take questions on inflation? Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Literally says it right on camera. What a stupid son of a bitch. But Trump's attacking the free press. I can't wait. The meltdowns are going to really be something. It's going to be incredible to watch the lapdog sitting, boot licking DC media finally become rabid animals again. Start biting and gnawing and screaming with everything in them. They're such eunuchs. Ladies and gentlemen, cringe Jean-Pierre knew that she could use identity politics as a shield to protect her from any mean questions because you'd be seen as a racist or a sexist or somebody who hates gay people if you asked her a tough question. If you just did your job, cringe Jean-Pierre, there's the magic of identity politics and victimhood oppression politics. Cringe could just deflect, right? And she regularly talked about herself. You've never seen a press secretary whose job it is to speak for the president, speak more about herself and her experiences. We went back in the archives and found hundreds of hours of cringe Jean-Pierre talking about how historic she is, how historic it is to have the first black, gay, female press secretary all bundled into one. It's clearly why she was selected in the late end stages of wokeness. They're going to you have one more hire that you can just hide as a shield under the blanket of wokeness and know that the corporate media, of course, would just agree with you because they're bosses. How dare you ever be mean to cringe? Well, it's all over now. And get ready for the press briefings to be, again, like unhinged animals going after Donald Trump's press secretary. Cringe Jean-Pierre, in her final tear-filled speech, decided to give sob and cry about her own historic relevance in this job. I kid you not. Here we go.
Give and take that happens here is incredibly healthy, and it is part of our democracy. I have been honored to partake in it with all of you. Well, most of the time I've been honored to take it. But in all seriousness, I also said at the first briefing, I would not be here today if it were not for generations of barrier-breaking people before me. I have stood on their shoulders. I benefit from their sacrifices. I have learned excellence, and I am eternally grateful to them. And now I will pass the torch. It is my sincere hope that while I may be the first for many things at this podium, behind this lectern, I am not the last. I hope my presence at this podium has served as inspiration to many young girls out there.
I, me, my, mine, I'm first, me, my, me, my. The absolute and total nihilism and narcissism of these people. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre broke down in tears on Wednesday, White House press briefing, as she recently blocked a rival from speaking at her last media availability of Joe Biden's administration. She spent several minutes thanking her colleagues, her family, and talking about herself. She said she hopes her visible public role was an inspiration to young girls. She gave a shout out to her daughter and her ex. I think she got divorced during this time period. Okay. And then she calls her daughter Pudding and adding, I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay. She thanked her press staff, and then she started sobbing. One notable absence in the room, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. Kirby usually briefs reporters on foreign affairs, but was not at the podium to answer questions the ceasefire deal on Israel and Hamas. Karine Jean blocked Kirby, her longtime rival, from the podium, from attending. A source familiar with the Daily Mail told it because she wanted to keep the attention on herself. Fox News was first to report the snub. Oh, no. You know, we do our entire show off like pretty much a skeleton script. Never is anything written out. We have some articles and some clips. I mean, obviously, we want to show you the news, and it's important to show you things and to read the articles. But when we're talking about issues and when we're talking about what's happening in the world, it's my opinion. And it's the fact patterns that we are able to absorb here. We're alive. We pay attention. We put these things together, and we talk through them. This is why I'm able to make eye contact with the audience. Unlike Cringe here, who has to literally read a script. You can't even do your own farewell. You can't even speak from the heart once. What a fraudulent administration. I'm so happy KJP is finished as press secretary with her childlike repetitive speaking style and lack of knowledge. Binder, she will not be missed. Yes, the definition of a DEI hire. KJP gets emotional while doing thank yous during her final White House press briefing. Says King Simp Aaron Rupar. Colleague Jackie Heinrich reports that KJP blocked John Kirby from speaking at a ceasefire deal today, opting instead to keep the spotlight on herself despite providing no details on a very important thing, which is the ceasefire in Gaza. Zero news made in KJP's final briefing. She had no details on the hostage deal that will end 400 days of fighting, a defining element of Biden presidency, instead directing reporters to a background call. Sources familiar with the situation say she blocked John Kirby because she wanted to keep the spotlight on herself and how historic she is. Man, you want to know why I got out of D.C.? This is why I got out of D.C. This is why. I cannot stand, oh my gosh, I cannot stand this style of person. I can't stand the way that these people interact with the world around them. It's so grotesquely narcissistic, absolute black hole inability to see anything other than yourself, to see anyone other than yourself being the superstar. It's amazing. This is reported out by Fox News. Ending on an ego. All eyes on me. This is my last time saying this, but I told you guys KJP was the smart one. She wasn't going to let Kirby take the podium before her. Total pro move. Well, all right. Makes sense. KJP would have stopped John Kirby, who, while a partisan Democrat, comes off like an actual adult while speaking to reporters. Everybody's saying this is some real mean girl action here at the very end. KJP talked smack about John Kirby and made sure that on her way out, she insulted him, but she flirted with Peter Doocy in another exchange that's quite newsworthy. KJP said in her last question from Peter Doocy, who, if anybody has had even a remotely contentious relationship with the White House, it would be Peter. Peter Doocy says, hey, this is my last question. You know, no one's going to miss you guys. You guys failed. You suck. And KJP goes, you fill my void.
Thank you, Karine. If I don't see you again in the briefing, thank you for always. You could have stopped taking the hard questions years ago, and you didn't. So we appreciate that.
Over 2 years, my friend. This is let's say one last dance, right? I don't know how I'm going to fill my dance card now. How will I fill that void without you?
You tell me. You tell me. So
Start some rumors in here, I guess.
He's getting red too. Look at him.
Is that okay? I'll go. I'll bite. He is legitimately getting red. This is my
so a week from now, it's all over.
Yes.
Between next Monday and 2028.
2028.
Who's the leader of the Democratic Party?
Oh my goodness! Wow. That is, honestly, that is for people much smarter than I to make that assessment, that decision. Obviously, voters will decide. That is not something for me to decide. I could say right now, in this moment, in this room, as I'm looking at the clock as it's counting down, because we have to leave shortly, you have the President Joe Biden, who is obviously the president and the leader of the Democratic Party. I do not have I cannot predict the future, so that is not something that I'm going to do from here.
What is it's so hard to watch. She doesn't even say anything. I mean, she does make a sex joke about Peter Doocy, and he does turn red. And I think that's kind of funny. But that's the last thing that she does. That, and then cry about how historic she is. Ugh. Let it end. Let it end, ladies and gentlemen. And it is ending. It's just a matter of hours, really. You can count it down. And we are here for it. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Enter the new golden era for us in this channel. We're going to have a lot of fun. See you.